how do you think about being an artist now? I mean, do you think of it as, do you continue, or do you start to think about the being an artist as a career now? And has that thought changed?
I mean, I've been doing it for about 10 years, you know, so since about 2000 I sold my first piece, and it's just been a hustle since then. You know, I don't really know what else I would do. You know, I mean, between being an artist, teaching art, being a teacher, and running a gallery, like I just, you know, I mean, sure, you know, I have degrees in other things. And I don't think I'm an idiot, so I could probably learn another trade or skill or get another job. I just don't think I would come to the table with as much enthusiasm and energy for that, you know.
Right.
So you know, even if it's a struggle and it's really hard, you know, I wake up excited every morning to do what I do. And you know,
what are some of the best things that you enjoy being an artist? And if there's anything that you dislike about it, what is it?
I dislike the inconsistency of the economics. And, you know, that's just basic, you know, like anything you do, if you work really hard at something and you're not asking for riches, but you're thinking like, God, it would be nice to be not starving all the time, or not in fear of all the time. And those are problems. But the highlights is that it's just, you know, it's like art's you can't really put word, you can't write about it, you can't talk about it. You know, it's hard. In the studio practice, I don't know, there's just moments when you're in the middle of a painting, and it just works, you know. There's the poetry of the moment. You know, I'm sure photographers find it when they, you know, I don't know, in the developing or capturing and framing something, a sculptor has it in one moment. But there's this very euphoric moment where it's like universally everything just is in harmony.
Right, it works.
Yeah, it works. And who knows if anyone else is going to see that or experience that. But that's about being the maker. It's that moment where everything syncs up, and it's just that like, you know, I think that's what defines people who are artists and who aren't artists, because they're always kind of going for that fix. You know, and then in sharing the work, you are, I feel like, trying to teach those that either get it or don't get it about that, because it's about it. It strikes a chord with something that is so fundamentally core human, that, you know, people who aren't artists, I feel like, have just blocked it. It's there, like I feel it's there in everybody, but they've blocked it. And so getting the chance to share your work with them, you always feel like there's this like, is it going to unlock that for someone?
Right.
Are they going to look at the world differently after they experience this work? And not always on deep, profound levels, but just kind of like, I see it differently.
Right.
And I think that's why we're makers, in a sense, because we're in dialogue with humanity about ideas and way of seeing and possibility. And it doesn't matter if, you know, you're in social practice or you're a painter, because it all funnels back at its fundamental core to be about this kind of
revealing something.
Yeah, this poetry of humanity, you know, and if it's really pained, if it's a struggle, or if it's really beautiful and stimulating, it's just like, that's what the arts, I don't know, that's what I feel like the arts are. You know, when I'm teaching art, it's that same buzz. If I'm in the studio, it's that buzz. When I'm teaching art, it's that buzz that someone feels empowered to take this idea, this non-tangible thing, and then make it tangible, and have all that passion and energy in this one object, or in this one performance, or in this one event, and then watch the way it kind of, it like undulates in the public sphere, for better or worse. Like, even if it completely fails, the idea that someone's put themselves out there, and that's really living, and that's life, and that's you know, it's like. And then that's so far removed from the art market, it's incredible, you know. So then it's like you lose all sense of economy and of it, because when it's really there and it's really humming, it's like, you know, we're not here for very long in the grand scheme of things, like life. We're in and we're out, you know. And I think what makes me an artist and want to do it is that I'm getting to live in the most alive state possible, in a sense. Even though you are kind of making your studio practice feel so isolated sometimes, I think that's why the component of the gallery and teaching are really nice complements. And then the exhibition, and then getting just to share art. But you're getting to live as in the moment as possible. And it's so funny because, you know, for those people who aren't artists, it feels dangerous, or they think it's corny, but it's a defense mechanism because it's a nervousness of not understanding.
Right.
But I love that space where I don't understand something, and I feel awkward, and then I'm embarrassed. And I love reveling in that space and then getting comfortable in that space and figuring it out, you know? Yeah, so.
Yeah, beautiful. And the love for that particular almost ineffable thing is so strong that you just would want to do everything else in order to be able to have those moments.
Yeah, I mean, I would say if anyone wants to be an artist, don't be. You know, I think Francis Ford Coppola said it. He's like, I would discourage anyone who wants to get into the arts, or like into acting in a sense, because it's just a hard life, and you're bound to be disappointed.
Right.
And for those who refuse my suggestion, those are the ones that should be artists. Like, if you can't do anything else, like if nothing else in life makes you so alive, you know, then you should be an artist. If there is, you should probably do the other thing. Right. Because it really does look at you. I really do feel like, for the most part, artists are just bound to have their heart broken. But at least they were in touch with their heart. They were in touch with their passion. You know, because shit, that's what it's all about, right? From relationships to family to friends to work. The idea that your work could be touching you on that level, there's about 1 million people who go to work who are just like, whatever, day jobber. I don't care. You know, and so.
Perfect. It's beautiful. So